Well, hi everybody, and it's great to have you tuning in here at Christchurch Bligari. It's Holy Week.
Yeah,
Holy Week.
it is.
And Holy Week is probably the most important week in the Christian calendar. We really are building up to the Easter weekend. Let me introduce you guys because
sure.
John, can you tell us something about yourself in a few seconds?
Yeah. My name is John, saved by Christ.
Come on.
And so I work for the church, Christchurch Bligari. I predominantly work for the evening service, more with young adults, so people between the ages 19 to 35 or so. And we run Bible studies. We have various events in the church,
Bunji?
Hi, I'm Bunji. Like bungee jumping here. I get that a lot. But I'm part of the youth ministry here at Christchurch Bligari. Basically replacing John. But I do young adults as well, where I fill in whenever I can. And so far it's been an awesome time.
Yeah.
Thank you. And guys, my name's Dave, if you don't know who I am.
Hi,
and
Dave.
I'm also on staff here at Christchurch Bligari. Well, what we're going to do is each day during Holy Week, we're going to spend a bit of time in Mark's Gospel, just helping ourselves and others understand what is the word, just the occasion of that last week before our Saviour was crucified. So it's wonderful, it's moving, it's I think it will be very challenging to us as Christians as well.
Yeah.
Before I do that, I got quite an important question to ask you two guys. What's your favourite Easter egg?
My favorite Easter egg? Well, for me, I don't particularly have one. The normal ones with marshmallows inside, I guess. I grew up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, so this the Easter, celebrating Easter, and that is quite new to me. Yeah.
John, can you just remember to buy him a really good Easter egg this year?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Easter eggs. Actually, my wife would be very happy to answer that question. She loves Easter eggs. I eat anything I see in front of me. So whatever Easter egg is given to me, I'll eat it. I'll devour it.
Well, I hope those listening are seeing what we need for Easter. I really do have a favourite.
Yeah?
I like the chili Lindt chocolate.
Chili Lindt
just so
chocolate.
you know. Yeah. Our passage today is Jesus now entering Jerusalem. And one of the questions as we go through this passage, and Bunji, I'm going to ask you if you don't mind reading it in a moment.
Sure.
One of the questions to think about is Jesus is coming to Jerusalem. And as we listen to this reading, let's pick up the emotion of the reading. What's happening? And I think, what do the crowds think Jesus is going to? But what is Jesus entering Jerusalem? What is going to happen in Jerusalem? You want to read that for us, please, Bunji? I think it's verses 1 to 11.
Yes. Mark 11, verse 1. As they approached Jerusalem and came to Bethphage and Bethany at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two of his disciples, saying to them, "Go to the village ahead of you, and just as you enter it, you will find a colt tied there, which no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks you, 'Why are you doing this?' say, 'The Lord needs it and will send it back here shortly.'" They went out and found the colt outside in the street and tied it at a doorway. As they untied it, some people standing there asked, "What are you doing untying the colt?" They answered as Jesus had told them to, and the people let them go. When they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their cloaks over it, he sat on it. Many people spread their clothes on the road, while others spread branches they had cut in the fields. Those who went ahead and those who followed shouted, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord! Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" Jesus entered Jerusalem and went into the temple courts. He looked around at everything, but since it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12.
Thank you, Bunji. There's a couple of things that are striking. This is Jesus now entering Jerusalem, and there are crowds, as we see. And what maybe strikes you about this passage?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that probably strikes anyone reading this passage, even if it's your first time, is what is a cult doing in this passage? Like, why is there so much attention drawn to this donkey? So that's the first thing that caught my attention. I was like, okay, what's that doing there? And I think a helpful passage to reflect on this is Zechariah.
Thank you. Yeah. That's Zechariah. I think you're referring to Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. Let's have a look at that. John, why don't you read that for us? Because I think that for those of you listening in, there's some good background here in Zechariah 9. So why don't you read verse 9? I think it's near the Old Testament, John. Back of the Old Testament.
Got it. Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9 says, Rejoice greatly, daughter Zion. Shout, daughter Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey.
Fascinating. What fascinates me in that passage, Zechariah, is the words he uses. He speaks about a donkey, and he almost explains what the donkey will represent. What are the words used in Zechariah 9?
Here it says lowly.
Lowly, yes.
Lowly. Oh.
I wonder what comes to mind. I don't know, you watching there. What comes to mind when you think of the word lowly?
Humility, not great,
Yeah.
not stars and big lights and something shining and wow, something very like it's humility. I think humility is the best word. It's something that doesn't actually want to be on the forefront. Something that's subtly just low.
As the youth would say, low key.
Low key, yes.
Lowly, humility, low key. There's another word there in Zechariah that fascinated me. And it was, I think it was this
righteous and victorious, maybe?
Victorious. Zechariah is saying that he's coming victoriously. That's interesting, because let's go back to Mark 11. And if you've got your Bibles open back home, it's worth looking at the crowds. Because what are the crowds actually saying? You remember, they're the crowds. They spread their cloaks on the road. Others spread branches that they had cut in the fields, verse 9. Those who went ahead and those who followed shouted. So you pick up the scene. The crowds are there. There's a big reception for Jesus coming into Jerusalem. And what do they actually say?
They quote, they say, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David." They recognize someone who's coming in the line of David, the king. So all of this that they're doing is actually in preparation for a king. So they're seeing the king coming in.
That's right.
I mean, it's remarkable. But the king comes in on what?
On a donkey.
A donkey.
Yeah.
That's guys. I was going to the airport last week, I must say, and I was driving. I was close to the airport, and suddenly, the massive bunch of black cars with blue lights and motorbikes came flying past me, and I knew immediately that somebody important was coming past me. I could have been the president himself. I don't know. Motorbikes, black cars. At quite a speed, I must tell you. But there they went flying past me, although I think I was going slowly. But I knew that was important. The occasion, I knew. The importance here, the crowds. Hosanna. They see something important. They see a king. And what's the big surprise? Or shock, if you like.
Is that he's not approaching them on a horse with these great chariots.
Exactly.
As the Roman generals and Roman emperors.
But he's on a donkey. I don't know.
Lowly donkey. Yeah, we would expect him to, like embrace this parade with like, you know what? There's even branches of palm trees on the ground. So we would expect him to be on a horse, gold, dripped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this person who they identify, they speak about blessed, is the coming kingdom of the father David. This guy they identified as king, as the one who's going to do something great, kingdom, is walking through on a donkey. But here comes the other bit of a surprise. I often, when I read the Bible, I often ask myself, what surprises me or what shocks me? Here comes the other surprise. What's he going to Jerusalem to? What is if a king's coming into the city, where's he heading to? A normal
To his
king,
palace.
to his palace, to his throne. So here's the other surprise. Shock. This is the king, the donkey king, coming in, and what's going to happen in Jerusalem? What's his throne going to be? Think about that. I mean, what is the throne?
Yeah.
Where's he heading to?
It's going to be
Into the cross.
It's going to be the cross. Folks, I don't know. I think that's worth reflecting on, isn't it? This great king, line of David, God's king. God's king. Comes lowly, and those words in Zechariah again, victoriously. Through the city on a donkey, and he's going to be crucified, and that cross is going to be his throne. How's that for something quite mind-blowing?
Yeah, wow. I remember a couple of years ago watching the coronation of, is it Prince William or
Charles?
Is it Charles? Prince Charles?
I think he's the latest king
Yeah,
in
I think
England.
it's Prince Charles. But it was a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this is what you call a coronation. The whole world went on a standstill.
Yes.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah.
You could see from the time he entered into, what do you call the place in the UK where the palace is?
Buckingham Palace.
Yes.
I think that's right.
And I was like, wow, the whole world is at a stand.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
by the time Jesus dies, sure, it's actually the word, like in the eyes of the world, it's the worst coronation of a king.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to this great throne where everyone is cheering.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
But some are even like, yeah, crucify him.
yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just a different way of thinking of this whole coronation.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So it's an upside down coronation.
Yeah.
Where what the people think they're doing out of spite, the Romans with the crowning of him, and they put on the robes on him. And when we see that coronation, after arriving on a donkey, it's quite upside down compared to what you've just mentioned with the.
I like what
Prince
you're saying there,
Charles.
Benji, upside down. This is the upside down, I don't know, king, the upside down kingdom, and the victory, because Zechariah identifies as he's coming
Victorious, yeah.
to victory,
Yeah.
and the victory is going to be won on a cross.
Yeah.
I mean, how?
It doesn't look like victory,
Yeah, death, I mean, you can't say death.
So what is the take-home value for you, me, for those who are listening in? What is, I mean, there's a take-home value for us in the sense of understanding who Jesus really is, the remarkable person he is. But what can we learn? What's the message for us?
For me, it's quite astonishing. Here's Jesus, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, riding on a donkey. At the time where he's supposed to be victorious, or he is victorious, right? He's supposed to be with flashing lights, and I'm tempted to use my position also to get my way and just just abuse my power, really. But Jesus doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Jesus comes very humble, very lowly.
Yeah.
Lowly, and it makes me also want to live like this.
Yeah.
Not the easiest thing.
Yeah. At some point, I don't know if it's mentioned in this gospel, Mark, but Jesus urges or tells his followers, if you want to follow me, you should take up the cross and follow me. And here we've got a clear picture of what the cross means. Humility. Laying laying down your own life for the sake of his life. And so we see it throughout Jesus' life. It's a life of humility, following whatever God has called him to do, even until here.
Yeah.
It's all in humble submission to what God the Father has called him to do. And so if I'm following in that pattern, if I'm supposed to pick up my cross and follow Jesus, this is the kind of pattern I need to follow. Whatever position, whatever highness I have, I need to lay it down.
So whatever we're in, wherever we are in South Africa or wherever in the world, whatever our position in life is, follow the King. That calls for servanthood, humility, a different type of leadership, a different type of thinking. Yeah. And just to close off, I think it's a great challenge as well to people to say, is this the King you believe in? Is this your King? The King, the Donkey King, who's won a great victory for you. And we'll come more to that more on Easter weekend on the cross. Guys, thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Should I?